Hey Killer Bees, it's Pahla B from PahlaBFitness.com, and on tap today I've got day 14 of the Weight Loss for Women Over 50 series, and today we are all about walking with weights. You guys, today is absolutely no jumping, no transitions to the ground, and all sweaty fun. Go ahead and grab your lightest dumbbells, and if you don't have a pair that's light enough, you can either go hands-free or open up the description box below and get my exact 3-pair set from Amazon that I use for all of these workouts with weights. You guys, when you're ready for this one, I'm totally ready. Let's go. All right, you guys, let's go ahead and get moving and grooving. For our warm-up, go ahead and have your dumbbells completely out of the way. Trust me, we're gonna have those in our hands for enough time today. Let's get started with some arm circles and high knees. You guys, today's a good one. I mean, they all are. All of the workouts, they're all kind of like my children. I love them all exactly the same, but on different days, I love them different amounts. You guys, walking with weights is truly one of the most fun kind of workouts. And I think I've analyzed it. I truly have, because I know that it's popular with you guys too. And so I've really put some thought into why do we like this so much? I think because it's so deceptively simple. And I mean, I'm all about simple workouts. If you have been here longer than just these 14 days with me, you know a little something about the Pahla B Fitness channel. I don't go for super complicated workouts. I don't go for complicated exercises. I like pretty straightforward, simple, let's get it done, let's get sweaty, let's have some fun, let's challenge ourselves, but let's keep it simple enough for everybody. And I think that's why, because it's walking. I mean, we walk all the time, every day, and then it's other exercises that we like to do, and it's not hard, but also it's just the right amount of not easy either. Let's do some arm crossers with booty kickers. You guys, here's the thing about today. I've got the handy dandy Gym Boss set for 20-second intervals, and none of them is rest. That means that I'm going to issue my warning about taking every single exercise at a pace that feels truly manageable for the duration of this workout. We're not getting any kind of break from it, which I think is the other reason why I like the walking with weights, because the walking, even though we're still moving, even though it's still great cardio, still sweating, all that good stuff, it feels like a little bit of a break. It's like an active break, an active rest. You guys, let's do some welcome to my homes. Here's what it looks like. We are returning again and again to walking, but I've got 2 other exercises in between. So we're gonna walk, and then we're gonna do something, and then we're gonna do something else, and then we're gonna come back to walking. Here's the thing though, if you don't like any one of the exercises, all of the exercises, some of the exercises, just come on back to walking. You could literally do this entire workout without doing any of the other exercises at all and get a great workout. Walking is, in and of itself, a fantastic thing to do for your body. So let's go ahead and get started with it. I'm gonna grab my weights. If you have something light enough, you can grab yours too. If you don't, that's okay as well. My friends, I think you've heard me say it enough times now. We're on day 14. I've said it at least, 5, 6 times each day. You do what works for you. When it beeps, we're gonna do toy soldiers, which definitely work for me. Here's the dealio. This is a circuit today. We are going to come back around. So toy soldiers here, hands up. We're bringing one hand down towards one opposite kicking foot. When it beeps again, we're gonna do skiers. We get to put our hands down. We're gonna shuffle our hands back or up and down rather, in front of our face while our feet shuffle back and forth behind us. Core is pulled in tight, tight, tight. Heart rate has already come up. Here we are with skiers, and then the next time it beeps, we're gonna go right back to walking. And thank goodness, right? Already? You're already noticing the magic of this workout. We get to go back to walking when our heart rate has come up with those other exercises. Excellent job. I think I'm actually going to take this down a half a notch, because I did kind of come out of the gate a little bit quick on that toy soldiers. I knew those were going to be tough. When it beeps again, we're going to do something I call push, push, crunch. It's a little bit of a lateral move. We're going to push, hopefully 2 times to the side. You can do just 1, depends on what kind of space you have. Push, and then overhead into a crunch. Push, push, push and swing it overhead into a crunch. Awesome job. This one, really feel that lateral motion overhead in your shoulders. This is why we can do this thing whole workout, hands free. Now we're gonna go ahead and do twisting kicks. It already beeped. We're doing twisting kicks, which means that we are twisting at the torso with our weights right about shoulder height, kicking forward, really squeezing those abs, feeling that work, and then the next time it beeps, coming back to walking. Awesome job. I knew this was gonna move along quickly today. 20-second intervals, truly my favorite length of intervals. They're just enough without being too much. Coming up next, we're gonna do double knees. Both hands up overhead. Gonna bring those hands down to your knee up to your hands, across your body. 2 times on this side, 2 times on the other side. We frequently do this when we are doing low impact cardio, and hands free, I can go significantly faster. When it beeps again, we're doing squat jacks. When your hands are down, your hips are down. When your hands are up, your hips are up. So hands are doing jumping jacks. Lower body is doing squats. Really keeping your core in tight on this one. Not an easy exercise, whether or not we have weights in our hands. Really thinking about excellent squat form and thinking about coming back to walking. Awesome job. Okay, my friends. This is what this feels like. I mentioned that this was going to be sweaty today. When it beeps again, we're doing curling kicks. This is going to require me to think out loud a little bit. We're going to kick with one foot while we do a biceps curl with the other arm. Yes, across your body, doing biceps curls and kicking. And I'm really having to think about this. This is why I love to challenge myself in small intervals. When it beeps again, we're going to do low swinging tappers. So arms are swinging from side to side down the low way rather than over your head. Feet are tapping back and forth. Feeling that work in your core, feeling that work in your inner and outer thighs when we do lateral work like this. When it beeps again, we get to come back to walking. Thank goodness, right? I tried to find a real variety of exercises for us today so that we can feel like we have gotten a great full body workout. When it beeps again, we're going to do V reaches, which means that we're going to reach up and out to one side, come down into a squat, so up and out to the side, down into a squat, and up and out to the other side. So your feet don't move, and I want you to know that you do not have to come into a full squat. Whatever works for you always works for me, my friend. When it beeps again, we're coming into walking stars. You might know it as a box step. I might need to call it something else to be able to make my brain and my body do it. We're going to step forward while putting up one hand, step forward with the other foot while putting up the other hand, bring them down and bring them down. As my friend says, we're picking an apple and putting it in our pocket. When it beeps again, we're going to come back to that walking. Great job. Some of these transitions are a little trickier than others, and I totally love that for all of us. When it beeps again, we're going to do a reach across crunch. When we make ourselves do something a little bit tricky, so reach across into a crunch, reach across into a crunch, pulling that knee up, bringing that elbow across your body and down. Oh my goodness, feeling all of this. When it beeps again, we're going to do dancing X's, which means that we're going to have our hands wide and our feet wide. We're going to bring our elbow to our knee and our elbow to our opposite knee across your body, dancing back and forth, making the letter X when we're at full extension and crunching in the middle. When it beeps again, and I'm going to be ready for that, we're coming back to walking. Oh my goodness, what a great job you're doing. This is work for us today, my friends. You know, I've been talking about moderation and consistency and making sure that we're doing the same level every day. This one's tough to keep at a good moderate level. When it beeps, half jacks, literally half of a jumping jack, half of your body and then the other half of your body. With the weights in my hand, I don't tend to bring my hand up all the way. If you want to get up overhead, totally fine. I try and get about shoulder height. When it beeps again, we're doing star bursts. That means that we're going to get little and we're going to get big. Get little and open up on one side, get little, open up on the other. Kicking out just one foot, but opening up both hands. Excellent. Again, only getting as little as you can. There is a fair bit of squatting today, and if that's not your jam, well then you help yourself to walking like this, or you help yourself to modifying in whatever way helps you. You can do an entirely different exercise. Totally fine. When it beeps again, we're going to do ding dongs. Going to have our hands swinging low, but our feet one at a time. Going to kick out to the side. We can really get ourselves rocking on this one. Feeling that balance, feeling that core, getting your foot up as high as you can or want to when it beeps again. The toughest thing of all, we're doing Drinky bird jacks. Hands are doing jumping jacks. Feet are doing what I call Drinky birds, which is a single leg deadlift. Hands up overhead. We're going to balance on one foot, bringing the other leg back behind you. Do not feel like you need to come down into a deep Drinky bird. This is meant to be cardio. If it's a little bit shallower today than when we are doing something more strengthy, here we are back at walking. That's totally okay. You guys, that was the whole circuit. You have survived all of the exercises, and we're just going to go through this one more time. I love a circuit that we only have 2 rounds. When it beeps again, although we are starting tough again when it beeps, we're doing those toy soldiers again. I'm not entirely sure why I started with something so tough, other than maybe I just wanted to get it out of the way. Bringing your opposite hand towards your opposite kicking foot. And when it beeps, we'll get to put those hands down and move into skiers. Hands shuffling up and down in front of you, feet shuffling back and forth behind you. Basically, it's a front raise with a kickback. You can think about these exercises however works for you. I actually have a mnemonic device for literally everything we do so that I can remember what my body is supposed to be doing in time and space. Let's come back to walking. You are welcome, if you'd like to do any kind of exercise that works, any kind of exercise that you know how to do, any kind of exercise that helps you feel coordinated at any time. When it beeps again, we're going to do that push, push, crunch. I'm scooting over a little bit. We're going to push and crunch. Both hands if you can, one hand if you can't, totally okay. When we're going up overhead like that, we are working the entire shoulder complex. Coming up next, we're going to do twisting kicks, which means that our upper body is going to twist while our lower body kicks. I like to have my weights right about shoulder height. It's like a little bit of a built-in biceps work. If you'd like to have your hands lower, if that feels better, that's okay too. The higher your hands are, the higher your heart rate is. So make sure, here we are back at walking, that you're moderating whatever way you need to or want to. When it beeps again, we're going into double knees. Both hands up overhead, bringing your hands down to your knee 2 times in a row across your body, switching and doing that same thing on the other side. Awesome. So hands up, double knee on one side, double knee on the other side. Excellent. I'm going to slow this one down a little bit. It felt very tough to keep that pace, and I want to make sure that I can get through the rest of this workout. Coming up next, we've got squat jacks. When your hands are down, your hips are down. When your hands are up, your hips are up. Taking this also at a pace that feels good. I could go faster, but then I'd have to take a break. So making sure that you are staying within yourself, knowing what you know, here we are back at walking, about your own heart rate. You guys, you are doing such a great job with today's workout. These are fast transitions on a fun and sweaty day. When it beeps, we're doing those curling kicks again. I think I'm ready for it. It wasn't as hard as I thought it was going to be last time. So hands are down, kicking and curling across your body, keeping your arms nice and close to your waist, really feeling that biceps work while we pull in our core, standing up straight and tall for these kicks. When it beeps again, going into low swinging tappers. Hands can come up, I called them low, but really it's just your feet that stay low. Your hands can really swing as high as you like. Depending on where your heart rate is, they might stay low as well. You guys, when it beeps again, we get to go back to walking. It feels like a treat, doesn't it? We treat ourselves to the walking exercise and we manage the others. This was such a great way to celebrate 2 weeks into a month-long series of workouts. My friends, when it beeps again, we're doing V reaches. That's that one where we reach up and out to the side, and then a big squat in the middle if you can and want to, and then up and out to the other side. We're creating a very large letter V in the air with our dumbbells. When it beeps again, we're gonna do walking stars, stepping forward, reaching up, stepping back, and reaching down. Excellent. Forward, forward, back and back. Switching leader foot if you can. It took me a very long time to be able to do that. I still struggle with it sometimes, but working on stepping out with your non-dominant foot, stepping up or reaching up with your non-dominant hand first. Here we are back to walking. That's a really good skill, actually. Speaking of work for your brain and your body, asking yourself to do something non-dominant, it's tricky. It takes practice and it feels so awkward, but it's really good to engage your brain like that. When it beeps again, we are doing reach across crunch. So reach across and crunch, exactly what it sounds like, but I still had to think about it. You're reaching across your body, coming up overhead and down into an oblique crunch. Working those abs, pulling in your core. When it beeps again, here we are with dancing X's. Feet are wide, hands are wide, dancing and crunching here in the middle. Awesome, awesome job, my friends. Boy, am I feeling this work, which feels really nice. This is a good amount of challenge today, right back to walking. Make sure that you're paying attention to how much we're challenging ourselves today. If you need to bring it down a notch, bring it down a notch. There's almost no reason to bring it up a notch, but sometimes we might need to do that too. Coming up next, we're doing half jacks. Only you know what feels moderate to you. If you are following along with me exactly, you might not be going at your best moderate pace. If you have other goals besides weight loss, you might not need to moderate either. When it beeps again, we're doing those star bursts. And here we go, getting little, getting big, swishing out one foot and then the other. Big kick, big reach with your hands, getting little, getting big. When it beeps again, coming right back to walking. Awesome job, my friends. And back to walking, you guys. You guys, this is it. This is our last triplet of exercises, and that means that it's the super fun ones that are kind of tough. Coming up next, we're doing ding dongs. We get to swing our hands down low, but nice and wide, while kicking out our foot on that side. A good challenge to our balance, challenge to our heart rate at this point. We can go pretty fast on this one, but can your heart rate stand any more of that? When it beeps again, doing Drinky bird jacks. Starting with hands up overhead. Hands are going to do jumping jacks. Feet are going to do a single leg deadlift, a Drinky bird. One side at a time. Awesome job. When it beeps again, you guys. We are done. Oh, but of course we're not finished. I have one final thing that is absolutely going to challenge me. You are welcome to drop your weights or keep your weights, but we're going right into it. We're doing star balance, and that means we're going to have hands up overhead. We're going to tip to one side and recover, hopefully without falling out of it. Tip to the other side and hopefully recover without falling out of it. There is only one interval of this. This is a lot of up overhead, a lot of core pulling in, a lot of balance. And that was it. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna go ahead and put my dumbbells completely down, out of the way, and turn off the timer. And I know, I like to do the exact same cool down every day, but I tell you what, I'm gonna do the arm openers first and the chest crosser here with our big hug. Even though this is normally our second exercise, I don't wanna put my hands up right now. I'll do the arm circles next. You guys, this was right at the edge of not being moderate today. I know, it happens sometimes. And I want you to know, I am putting this out here as a 31 days in a row series. If you ever wake up in the morning the next day and feel too sore to move on, take a day of nice active rest. Go for a walk. Go back to the original day one walking workout if you'd like to. Do something that feels lovely for yourself without pushing too much. Pushing too much, not the answer anymore, my friends. Not the answer for us to get to our weight loss goals. You guys, let's go ahead and do those arm circles now. Okay, I feel a little bit better. Still doing some tappers down here on the ground. Just bringing your heart rate down, stretching out those muscles, letting them know that the work is done and it's totally okay to return to their normal shape. You guys, what a good job you did today. Here on screen, I have for us an extended cool down if you would like to cool down more. This was, like I said, this was really kind of touching up to the edge of moderate today. If your heart rate is still pretty high, please, please, please take a little bit longer to cool down. On the other side of the screen, I'm going to have all 31 eventually of these workouts. Right now, there's only 14 of them. But after we're done with the series, you can come back to this playlist and repeat it again and again and again. Down on the bottom of the screen, there's the letter P. That's an invitation to go over to Patreon, where a monthly pledge from you helps me make free workouts for us all. And thank you so much for that. On the other side of the screen, that is a picture of me, and that is actually a subscribe button. Make sure that you subscribe here on YouTube and click the bell notification so that you can be notified every time I upload a new video. You guys, thank you so much for working out with me today. I'll see you tomorrow.